Lewis Hamilton has secured his fourth Drivers' World Championship, setting a new record for the most titles by a British driver. The Stevenage racer claimed his first title in just his second season, 2008, driving for McLaren Mercedes. After moving to Mercedes, Hamilton took back-to-back titles in 2014 and 2015, and has now added a fourth championship to that tally. Click through the pictures to look at some of the most memorable races from Hamilton's 11-year F1 career. 2007 Australian Grand Prix. Hamilton qualified his McLaren Mercedes fourth for his first Grand Prix, then made a stellar start to jump past double world champion teammate Fernando Alonso. Alonso eventually jumped Hamilton during the pit stops to finish second behind Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen, but third place on his debut marked the Brit out as a major talent. 2007 Canadian Grand Prix. After several near misses, Hamilton's first victory came in his sixth race, the Canadian Grand Prix. Hamilton started the race on pole position for the first time, and held his nerve in a dramatic race disrupted by 4 safety car periods to take glory. 2007 Chinese Grand Prix. After a strong run of form mid-season, Hamilton entered the penultimate race of the year with a 12-point lead over teammate Alonso, with Raikkonen 17 points adrift. But it all went wrong in China. His team left him out on worn wet tires on a drying track, and, when he came into the pits, he slid into the gravel and out of the race. Raikkonen won that race, and then snatched the title in Brazil when Hamilton was slowed by a mysterious mechanical problem. 2008 British Grand Prix. Hamilton claimed the first of his 5 British Grand Prix victories so far with a dominating drive in treacherous wet conditions at Silverstone in 2008. He finished more than a minute clear of his nearest rival, BMW's Nick Heidfeld. How tough were conditions? Hamilton's main title rival, Ferrari's Felipe Massa, spun 5 times on his way to 13th place. 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. The title fight between Hamilton and Massa went down to the final race of the season in Brazil, and was decided in hugely dramatic fashion. Even if Massa won his home event, Hamilton only needed to finish 5th to take the title, but what seemed a simple task was complicated by a Latterus rain shower. Having slid off the track and dropped down the order, Hamilton surged past Toyota's Timo Glock in the run to the line to snatch 5th, denying race winner Massa, whose family were already celebrating in the pits, thinking he was champion, the title. 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. By winning the title in his second season at the age of 23 years and 300 days, Hamilton became the youngest champion in F1 history. His record has since been eclipsed by Sebastian Vettel, who was 23 years and 134 days when he wrapped up his first title for Red Bull in 2010. 2009 Singapore Grand Prix. Hamilton's title defense was hamstrung by a poor McLaren, with the team caught out by major changes to the technical regulations and left far behind rivals Brawn GP and Red Bull. Despite this, Hamilton dragged his car to 2 race wins, including a dominant victory in Singapore. 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Hamilton's fortunes picked up in the 2010 season, and after 3 wins headed to the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, battling Ferrari's Fernando Alonso and Red Bull duo Vettel and Mark Webber for the title. Hamilton battled hard in the race, but could only finish second behind Vettel, who claimed his first title. 2011 German Grand Prix. Red Bull was the team to beat in 2011. While Vettel romped to his second title, Hamilton battled his way to 3 race wins, in China, Germany pictured and Abu Dhabi. Notably, Hamilton was outscored by teammate Jenson Button, the first time in his career that he had been beaten over the course of a year by a teammate. 2012 Canadian Grand Prix. The 2012 season started in remarkably open fashion, with 7 different drivers winning the first 7 races. Hamilton became the 7th to do so in that year's Canadian Grand Prix. That was the first of 4 wins that year, but it was left to Vettel Red Bull and Alonso Ferrari to battle for the title. The season would prove to be Hamilton's last at McLaren Mercedes, with the Brit signing to drive for the works Mercedes outfit from 2013 onwards. 2013 British Grand Prix. Hamilton looked set to take his second British GP success, and first for Mercedes, at Silverstone, but he was one of a spate of drivers to suffer punctures during the race. Despite the tyre failure, Hamilton battled back through the order to take 4th. 2013 Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton finally clinched his first win for Mercedes in Hungary, making him the first British racer to win in a Works Silver Arrows since Stirling Moss in the 1955 British Grand Prix. That victory would be Hamilton's sole success of the season, making 2013 the least successful year of his career so far. 2014 Australian Grand Prix. Hamilton's switch to Mercedes was, in part, because new technical rules were coming for the 2014 season, with the sport switching to 1.6-litre turbocharged engines. Mercedes developed the dominant power plant, and Hamilton and teammate Nico Rosberg duly dominated the season. Hamilton's year didn't get off to the best start, though he started from pole but was forced to retire with a mechanical issue while Rosberg won. 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. The rivalry between Mercedes drivers Hamilton and Rosberg had been developing through the year, but it really kicked off when they collided in the Belgian Grand Prix. The incident punctured Hamilton's tyre and forced him to retire, while Rosberg won despite a damaged front wing. It wasn't all good news for the German racer, though Mercedes held him responsible for the contact. It also seemed to fire Hamilton up. He won the next 5 races in a row. 2014 United States Grand Prix. Hamilton's 10th victory of the 2014 season came at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, hence the Stetson. Colossally, the victory was the 32nd of his career, moving him ahead of Nigel Mansell to set a new record for British drivers. 2014 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The title fight between Hamilton and Rosberg went down to the final race in Abu Dhabi, partially because F1 bosses had decided to award double points for the last race of the season, an idea quickly abandoned. Hamilton dominated the race to wrap up his second title, while Rosberg was slowed by a mechanical issue. 2015 Japanese Grand Prix. Mercedes once again had the dominant package in 2015, with Hamilton and Rosberg again battling for the title. Hamilton took the 41st victory of his career in Japan, matching the total set by his idol Ayrton Senna. 2015 United States Grand Prix. Hamilton had an edge over Rosberg in 2015, and wrapped up the title with 3 rounds remaining with victory in the United States. Rosberg made him work for it, though the pair battled hard early on, and the German only ceded the lead after running wide late in the race. 2015 United States Grand Prix. Hamilton's third championship matched Jackie Stewart's mark for the most by a British racer. 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. Hamilton and Rosberg came to blows again at Barcelona, with a clash early in the race that caused both to retire, and left Mercedes management fuming. 2016 United States Grand Prix. Hamilton notched up another milestone at the Circuit of the Americas in 2016, securing his 50th career victory at one of his favorite circuits. 2016 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. For the second time in 3 years, the title battle between Hamilton and Rosberg went down to the final race in Abu Dhabi. This time Hamilton entered the race behind his teammate in the points, and knew even if he won, Rosberg could afford to finish second and claim the title. Hamilton found himself leading Rosberg in the race, and tried to back the German into the chasing pack. But it was to no avail. While the Brit stood on the top step of the podium, Rosberg claimed the ultimate prize, and then promptly retired. 2017 Australian Grand Prix. If Hamilton thought Rosberg's retirement would make his life easier, he received a wake-up call at the Australian Grand Prix. He took pole for the race, but Sebastian Vettel, now at Ferrari, vaulted him during the pit stops to take victory and signal that, after 3 years of dominance, Mercedes now had a rival team to truly worry about. 2017 British Grand Prix. Hamilton dominated the British Grand Prix, starting from pole, leading every lap and setting the fastest lap. It was his 5th home victory, matching Jim Clark for the most by a Brit in the event. 2017 Belgian Grand Prix. Hamilton secured his 58th victory in his milestone 200th race, although Vettel made him work hard for it. 2017 Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton's next F1 milestone came in qualifying at Monza. He qualified on pole for the 69th time, surpassing the all-time record set by 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. The following day he won the race, moving into the points lead. 2017 Singapore Grand Prix. The start of the Singapore race was where Vettel's title challenge really began to unravel. At a circuit that should have suited his Ferrari, the German was involved in a clash with Ferrari teammate Kimi Raikkonen and Red Bull's Max Verstappen that eventually forced all 3 to retire. Hamilton, top left in picture, who had been off the pace in qualifying and expected to struggle, secured an unlikely victory and pulled clear in the title battle. 2017 Mexican Grand Prix. Hamilton headed into the Mexican Grand Prix needing just a 5th-place finish to clinch the title. But his task was complicated after a dramatic start. From pole, title rival Sebastian Vettel and Red Bull's Max Verstappen clashed in the first turn. Hamilton got a run on Vettel, but the German clipped Hamilton's rear tire, puncturing it. Hamilton was forced to pit, and had to slowly work his way up the order. Despite only finishing ninth, he clinched the title because Vettel, who was also forced to stop, could only recover to fourth. He had to finish second to keep his title hopes alive. Close.